I've been pretty distant recently. I had a wicked summer. I went mountain biking, camping, we went out in the van, we did epic stuff, and then I got a little bit sloppy and kind of didn't make any videos, and it's because I've been really busy. But you guys have been really busy too, and I've asked a bunch of you to send me pictures and information about your summer builds and projects, things you've been up to, and I want to share them in this video. You probably have also noticed it is a slightly different format because I'm sat in front of a computer. We're trying something new. I have a few ideas coming up for new videos and styles of making videos, and this would make things very, very easy. So if you like this style of thing, I'd want to know about it. But I ain't gonna waffle on because this is a waffly video and we want to look at some bikes. So let's start with the first project. Alright then, so we're going to start with Don't Waste Bikes. This year they got into secondhand and retro bikes, realising they didn't need the latest tech to enjoy riding. Highly agree with that. When their old hardtail broke, they started fixing up bikes with mostly used parts from marketplace, reused shops, even Vinted. A lot of people have started using Vinted recently. I know that Rally Rides, he's got a Vinted store and he's been talking about it a bunch. I've not tried that yet. Maybe we should go and see what stuff we can find on Vinted. But they've built 4 bikes so far this year, or is that since they've been into it, but each shaped by whatever parts they could find. The only challenge now is finding space to store them. Amen. So I'll put the 4 bikes that they have done on the screen right now so you can see those, but the one that I'm going to deep dive a little bit more into is the Trek 800. This one very much is the colorway for a 1. I really like this one, but it's also the rear rack. I do like a bike that you can carry loads of stuff on. The handlebars look really cool as well. I'm going to have a look at the document in a second to see if it says some specs on those. It looks kind of like a small bike as well. I don't know how tall this person is, but like I quite like a small bike that has been adapted with high-rise handlebars and things like that to kind of get it a little bit easier or rideable. You know what I'm trying to say. This looks great though. It's really cool. Just opening the document up. Picked up for £5 as a complete bike from the reuse shop at my local tip, with almost nothing wrong with it. It's replaced the seized front brake, bought some mega wide handlebars on there which look really good, new cockpit on them, added the rack and crate, and it's now the workhorse bike for rides where I need to carry stuff. They also go on to talking about the fact that they've never actually ridden with swept back bars before. If you've never ridden with swept back bars, this is your opportunity to go and buy something. Like, they don't have to be expensive. You can get super cheap ones that are off cruisers and whatever bikes, but it's something everybody has to try. Like, it's so good. Like, it's great on your wrists. It's even helps you sit up right more if that's more your thing. But if you've never tried them, do it. Yeah, sick. So this one comes courtesy of the Sloth Adventures. It's a 1993 Schwinn Paramount, pretty much full Dior XT package, the hubs, the brakes, the front derailleur, and shifters, or one shifter, except the rear derailleur, it's a Shimano LX. RockShox Mag 20 fork, Eastern rear tyres. I like the Eastern tyres, they're quite nice. It's a 26 2.1, and then the GT front tyre, which is 26 by 2, and then old Schwinn drop bars with some custom flare with the Dia comp safety levers. This thing is sick. I like it very much. I'm just flicking through the photos now. There's so much about this, it's cool. I don't think I've seen a Paramount before. Don't know how sought after these things are. I quite like the chainstay as well. It's kind of got this like bend to it. Is that just a photo? That's kind of cool. I like the drops on the stem as well. That looks really nice. And I quite like the gold of the RockShox. With the rest of the colorway and stuff, it all looks quite nice. It all fits, and I like the fact that it's very obviously a bit like parts binny, like the 2 different tires. I'm a big fan of 2 different tires. I did that recently on the what was it? The Kona I built. I don't think I haven't done a YouTube video on it, but I have put it on my Insta. Built that for my wife this summer. It's very cool. 2 different tires. Bit weird. I like it. But yeah, I rate this massively. It's very cool. Looks like it'd be lots of fun to ride. And a cool looking frame. I've actually been thinking loads about doing a drop bar build. And I mean like over the next couple of weeks, and this is fueling me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see what happens there.
What's good, Craig? This is Jesse from the Pure Valley, California. And this is my Diamondback. It's a comfort cruiser, extra large. Rides pretty good. Cheers.
So that there was Rage Riot, I believe the handle is, which is very good. This is a Diamondback. I'm not sure, where's the picture? I've got a picture of it, I screenshotted it. It is, I can't quite make it out, I'm sorry. It is an extra large frame, which I love a retro or an older extra large mountain bike, just because they're rare to find, so it's quite a cool thing to have. It's not too crazy, it's not too over the top, but it is a nice cruiser, as it was suggested. Looks very comfortable and I rate it. I don't have a lot more information on it, so I don't have much more to say, but it looks cool. I don't have enough photos of it. For future episodes of your bikes, please send a few more photos. If you don't have a lot to say, you don't want to write a thing about it, or don't want to talk about the camera, that's totally understandable. A few more photos though make it easier for me to kind of like pinpoint some stuff, but I like it. Thank you. So now we'll look at Ben's Westlake. It's a full rigid steel mountain bike turned touring city bike. He picked it up online for just €20, sick price, and slowly built it into a capable cruiser. The frame bag was a last minute DIY that he made from a boat sail before a bike packing trip. That's crazy cool. So it has 2.1 tyres, but it is a bit tight, which makes mudguards a bit tricky, so it won't see much winter use. Ben's already planning the next build with more tyre clearance. Tyre clearance was probably one of the first things I started pushing for when I started building bikes. The first couple I couldn't put anything in there, so it was definitely one thing to look at, is tyre clearance. So he's got some Ritchie comp buzzard bars on there, which I rate massively. It's got a Husselfeld stem, I think I'm pronouncing that right, which is essentially SRAM. They're very cool as well. Biopace chainrings, Shimano freewheel wide climbing gear. It's got a Dior LX rear derailleur, specialized saddle, and a reconditioned El Gallo pedals, which sounds very cool. It still runs the original brakes, plus a second-hand front rack that is perfectly fits a shopping bag or even a pizza box. Second-hand rack as well. That rack looks really cool. I'm just getting the photos up to have another look at them. Yeah, I'm not sure where you're getting that rack from, especially second-hand. I don't know, maybe it was still expensive, but it looks sick. I can see a little bit of text on there that looks like it's German. And you can see it here's the bike fully loaded, which is, it looks ace. The actual frame bag is wicked, and I love that it's made out of sail. Like, sail material is like super strong, so that makes perfect sense. I highly rate this bike. I'd love to give it a go. It looks wicked. Top marks. So moving on to 559 Velo Sublime. That's brilliant, well done. This is a Peugeot Trail built in the summer. The donor bike was picked up from Theringer. Sorry, I don't know what that is. I'll put it on the screen right now, for just €20. And the plan quickly became to turn it into a coffee cruiser like this already. After some comfort issues with the original seat post and Brooks C67 and a Comfort Junkies post, a custom Junkies post, solved the problem. Most of the build was done in an afternoon with a frame stripped and cleaned over a few spare hours. get on with it. That's such a good, like, I know someone who's stripped down a bike recently, and it's been weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and they're just like kind of cleaning little bits. It's gonna get dirty again. Just strip it, give it a good old wipe down with a bit of spray, some juice leaves or something, and then done. Build it back up again. The frame, the fork, the headset, the stem are original, while nearly everything else is new. Highlights include the Ergotech Moon Cruiser bars with colourful grips, a Light Pro crankset, and Strong Lights 40 tooth chainring. Schwinn Fat Frank tires, which I still have not tried, but they're ace. I know everybody likes them. And then he's finished off with the Brooks C67 saddle, a green Holotech bottom bracket, and a yellow Morocco pedals. A proper city ready cruiser with personality. I love this. This thing's wicked. It's on my list of bikes that I need to get. Not necessarily exactly one of these, but an old Peugeot. It looks ratty as hell when they first got it, which is sick. How much was this? 20 euros? 20 euros. That's I rate that massively. They did have a charged spoon on it when they were first building it up. 2 charged spoons, different colours. Those bars look wicked. I do think I know those bars, actually. I think I've used them before, and I think I've got some in the shed. I like them. There's a little like cup holder on the bar as well, which is very cool. And it's got a coaster brake as well. Is that how it's finished with the coaster brake? I know there's a few variations of this. Yeah, I do have some of those bars. Yeah, they're kind of cool. Brooks saddle finishes it up. It looks really good. I still got a coaster brake. I think this is sick. It's a really nice bike. I like that it is kind of like bit ratty, the frame. Like, there's not too much work done on that. It looks ace. I really like it. Rate it a lot. This one I will take. Thank you. Send it my way. Now, the one thing that I will quickly say now, these builds, some of them are lacking some stickers. Stickers are something we like putting on bikes, and as requested by a lot of you, I have restocked my stickers. So if you go onto the website right now, which is spray.bike.com, there is a big refresh of stickers, including the brand new OG pack. The OG pack is essentially 2 of the big favorites, the Bulky Boy Bike Club sticker and the Save Bike sticker. The Save Bike sticker has basically made this channel possible all these years. The amount of these things you buy literally builds the bikes, so thank you. And then also this is a little bit of representation of who I am and how we should all be riding bikes, because a lot of us are bulky boys and gals. That was a very generalization. And then new little mini Second Life Bikes logo, so you can stick it on your bike. So that, among a restock and some other bits and pieces, is now available on the website. So it does help me out a bunch, and I really do appreciate it. So if you do fancy picking up some stickers, thank you. Moving on to Com. I've known Com for a couple of years now. He was at my very first group ride, and he brought his Univega, which he's been riding for a while now. He's built a few other bikes, but this is his kind of like constant, which I rate a lot. Someone who has a constant. But this summer he has worked on a ghetto build of a crust Clydesdale fork. If you don't know what that is, I'll put that on the screen now. It's basically a cargo bike fork that you could put 20-inch wheel on it, and then it will go on to any mountain bike style shaped frame type thing, basically. The idea first came after seeing a similar setup at Brick Lane Bikes, and then later at the Seabass Cycles, they had a service where they would essentially do it for you. The heart of the build is a Surly 29er disc fork, picked up at one of Marlon's Jumbles actually for £40. I think these go for they're like 90 quid, 110, something like that. That's a really good price. He resprayed it as well, and over the spring and the summer the rest of the parts slowly came together. I wasn't quite ready for the Crusty Cruise. He did bring it along without the kind of deck part on it, but it is now close to complete. The fork setup barely changes the the geometry, which I've found quite interesting. That despite the longer wheelbase, it rides much like a normal bike. The rack is fully DIY, steel tubing, hammered and drilled, with a marine plyboard top and an old food delivery box rescued from a skip. Like, this is such a good build. I rate this so much. It's about 90% done with matching wheels, comfort grips, and even a safety feature. It's cheap, lightish, and can carry a full week's of food. Shop for two. Proof that you can build something practical and fun without spending big. So much time for this dude. This is a sick project, and it come out really well. It looks really good. Marlon, actually, Babylondon, he also did a version of this a while back, and he's just redone it. I'll see if I can put a picture on the screen right now. It's my turn, basically, is what I'm getting at here. As soon as I saw, I can't remember who the first place I saw this, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's cool. Now I know a few people have done it. I need to do it. So add this to my list of things I'm going to do before Christmas, hopefully. So this is probably one of my favorites. It's a bike that I've kind of always wanted, and it is finished very well. But this is from Justed Media. It's Project 7 Up. It's a full rebuild completed in just 1 month, which is very impressive because this is, I believe, their first build like this they've ever done. It's a genuine 7up branded mountain bike from 1991. I'm gonna put a clip of the advert on the screen right now. I'm not going to play the whole thing, certainly not going to play the music because I don't want to get this video taken down, but it was stripped back down to bare metal. It was repainted and given a fresh recreated graphics. Even the cracked disc covers were repaired with fiberglass, which is like, that's seriously going out. And if you did find one of these older promotional mountain bikes back then, with the discs in particular, like, they're so cracked and ruined and stuff, so fair play. The original parts ended there. It now runs a 1x10 Dior drivetrain, XT cranks, Maxxis hookworms. I was surprised by that. I don't know which size hookworms they are, but they're quite big tires, and it was the fact that it had that much clearance is pretty cool. The Shimano canties with 4-finger levers and a mix of salvage finishing kits. The build keeps the 90s character but updated to a modern riding. Like, this is one of the big things when doing like resto mods in particular, obviously, is group sets is a big deal, like upgrading a group set, because the frames more often than not were sick back then. It's just the technology in the group sets was the thing that improved quite a lot, and if you put a real modern one on an old bike, whew, such a cool ride. But they unveiled this at the first time for the Hands Bicycle Club ride, and the bike's been getting plenty of attention ever since. They're still not quite 100% on the finished build. They're looking for a chrome pizza rack of some sort, but it's unreal. I really rate it. I'm sure I've been blasting photos on the screen this whole time. There's little things like the details of redoing the disc in particular that screams like they've actually put some time and effort into this. Like, this deserves being like seen everywhere. I'm going to find this on Instagram in a second and repost it because it's unreal. I really like it.
On a 2000 and something frame, I've got Avid Juicy brake levers, Micro Shift gear levers, Decathlon Riverside front fork, 1x9 group set, so flexible, cable activated hydraulic disc brakes, a plethora of 3D printed gizmos, and bar ends from AliExpress. The tires are Schwabler 2.1 blackjacks. Then I've got a 1x thick thin chainring on the Shimano Dual cranks, Crank Brother candies, love them. Shimano Altus, so good. And then these X-Tech disc brakes, fantastic. Then I've moved on. I can put on 29er, 700C wheels, even panniers. I use this for everything. And my Tinkerlink box, which allows me to adjust the cables.
Sorry, what?
At the handlebars means I can put on road bars, commuter road bars even, gravel bars, all using AliExpress parts. But yeah, this makes for a very flexible, great bike.
I'm sure all of you, like myself, got to the Tinker link and went, I don't care about anything else about this bike, tell me more. So I emailed Andy immediately. I was literally stood in my kitchen trying to make dinner for my kids, and then looked at this video, saw the Tinker link, and just I had so many questions. Essentially, it is a 3D printed box that has essentially a linking system in it, very similar to like a breakaway on like a tandem or a breakaway bike would have breakaways in the cables where you can unhook them and stuff. Essentially, he's made this box that goes on the handlebars that you can then have cables going into it, and you could essentially just have several handlebar setups with componentry on them, or even just slip those brake levers and shifters off the handlebar, put them on another one, the cables are all there, just hook them all up, boom. Like, I've been chatting to him a little bit about it. It is crazy niche, and like, unless you are like a lot of us, you're probably never going to use this, and I would argue half of us probably wouldn't use it either. But I'm super interested in it. Andy is actually working on getting this actually manufactured. He wants it to be a product. He's been getting quotes and stuff, and he is working on sending me a early 3D printed version for me to try out, and I am very excited about it. It's called the Tinker Link. I'm going to link his YouTube below. Go and watch some videos about it, but just be ready for content coming, because we need to talk about this. I also see it, like, you know, being used for like bike fitters and stuff. Like, bike fitters quite like to be able to change handlebars and setups quite quickly, and if they could do it on a bike that you could then go for a ride on, it's very cool, isn't it? So epic. what more do I say? And that's the end of the video, and a very different format. I want to start this little series of your bikes. I love sharing your bikes, and I want to do it more often, a little bit more structured. So this is first of many videos like this, and this is kind of my first test of this new setup. I've got a new camera and my microphone and everything, and I want to see if this works. I've got loads of little ideas where I could quickly blast out a video where I want to share some information, or share some information from other people or something. We all love Russ's pathless pedaled new hotness. I'd quite like to do a news show a bit more regularly, where there's like events and stuff that you should check out. Kind of very similar format where I'm just sharing stuff. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, let me know down the bottom. That's my light just ran out of battery, so that's not great for this setup, is it? But let's call it there, apparently, because the light's dead. If you're into this kind of content and you want to see more videos, we make bike content all the time, and this is the light's throwing me off. Hang on 1 minute. So if you're into this kind of content, we make videos. It's gone out again. If you're into content like this, we make videos every week, all sorts of different bike content. I don't know why it's throwing me so much not having that light on, but it is. If you can't wait until next video, oh my god. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is your time. There is the subscribe button. Give it a tap. You can subscribe to the channel. It's fantastic. You'll love it. And if you can't wait till the next video, that one there is a particularly good one. Blah.